is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show. This
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
More tables, more entertainment.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Welcome aboard, baby. It is Thursday. You know where we're at. We're at Hialeah Park. Yes, sir. Second floor poker room. Ocala Joe was in the house. How about that? Him and his lovely wife. We met both. That was very cool. Thank you, Ocala Joe. Thank you for coming by and saying hi with the wife. Tea bread, by the way, which was fantastic. And thank you for the present. We appreciate that immensely. Thank you, sir. As always, very kind card. Thank you. Yes. Time to rock and roll here on the show. Yes. And by the way, if you haven't opened up your account, you need to open up your Hialeah betting account right there, and it's through Hard Rock, but you go through the Hialeah website, use that QR code there, you will get your no regret first bet $100. All right, and don't use the same email or phone number you use with your Hard Rock account. Use a different one so you can get the $100. All right. Oscar's asking me my thoughts on the NFL draft next week. Well, next week I'm going hot and heavy on draft talk and guests and all that kind of stuff. I didn't want to do it for a whole month and just repeat the same bullshit over and over again. So next week, we're going to have several guests. I'll call a bunch of friends of mine around the league. We'll get them on. We'll talk draft. I'll give you my thoughts, players I like, all that kind of stuff. So next week will be heavy draft talk because the draft is on Thursday night. So we'll get that done at that point. So got a bunch of things to talk about on the show as always. And we are here at Hialeah Park. If you want to come on by and join us, Matt Veram will join us at 4 o'clock. Okay. Supposed to join us normally on Wednesdays, but I think he went to a little baseball with his daughter yesterday. So that's cool. Get to go to a baseball game with your kid. And so he took it off yesterday. He's going to join us today. So we'll bounce around the league and we'll talk about all kinds of things going on in the NFL. Let's get to a subject that obviously is one that a lot of people are talking about, and that's the Miami Heat last night. They lost 105-104. They now are in the losers bracket of the play-in, and they will take on the Bulls, who last night defeated the Hawks 131-116. So they'll play them on Friday at 7 o'clock tomorrow. And the winner advances. The loser goes home. I'll tell you what. Look, I didn't pick the Heat to win yesterday, as you all know. I did take the Heat in the points, but I didn't pick the Heat. I thought they would lose, a close game, and that's exactly what ended up happening, unfortunately. I got to tell you something. I was really proud of them yesterday. Really, see, the difference is I have different expectations than some of you out there. I don't think this is a very good team. I think Spoelstra, again, the magician that he is, he whipped out the zone. It gave them problems. Sixers played some – you know how the Heat played sloppy at the end and turned over the ball? The Sixers also were sloppy in the first half, turning over the ball too. They gave away a bunch of lazy passes on the back end that Jimmy was able to steal easily. And I don't know how they didn't catch up to that, but, that was great for us because they kept the Heat. And they mucked it up. They mucked it up so much that they kept themselves in the game. I was really proud of the Heat yesterday because they're really not that good. See, some of you out there, okay, you keep waiting for Bam to show up, right? Right? We keep hearing that shit, right? I still hear people say that. I still see people, Bam's got to step. Yeah, you keep waiting for that. Oh, and Tyler, too. You keep waiting for that. You go ahead. See, that's the difference between me and the people that sell heat hopium and others, whether it's writers or fans. You convince yourselves that Jimmy can turn it on. And before the injury, he didn't turn on shit, bro. He had a couple steals, but offensively, he was nothing. He was nothing. What kept him in the game was the defensive part of it. That's what kept him in the game. A couple of easy steals. Dude, he shot 5 of 19. You know how many steals he had? 5. That's where his points came from, the steals and the layups. He's not that guy anymore. He wasn't that guy before the injury last night. But you can lie to yourself if you want to keep lying to yourself that you're waiting for Bam and you're waiting for Tyler and you think Jimmy is still the guy and all that kind of stuff. Listen, you go ahead, bro. You go ahead. There's probably a lot of heat shows out there to sell you that hopium and feed you that bullshit. And they probably fed you that bullshit all year long. We're not going to feed you the bullshit here, bro. We'll give you the real honesty. The front office failed. They didn't get the other star next to Jimmy. They sold you Bam. They sold you Tyler. You guys bought it. Some of you bought it. I never bought it. At no point did I ever buy it. And if you want to keep trying to buy it and wait for Tyler and wait for him to stay healthy and wait for him to have great moments, and he didn't again yesterday. What, did he got a couple of baskets at the end? Big deal, bro. Give me a break. Come on. So the Heat were fantastic last night. For what they are, for what is left of Jimmy, they did a great job of mucking it up and keeping themselves in the game. Dude, they almost won that game. That was phenomenal last night. Phenomenal. They have no business winning. They have no business advancing. They have no business being on the same court with the Celtics. Okay? You're not getting Giannis injured like you did last year. You're not getting the breaks of the bubble 4 years ago. It's been a great run with Jimmy. It's over. It's over. It's done. And that's it. It's time to just kind of live out the next 2 years of the contract. You'll be a mediocre to average team. You'll sneak into the playoffs because Spo is a beast. But it's over. The run with Jimmy Butler is over. And it was a phenomenal run. God bless the dude. He did his best with what he had around him. He never got a star next to him. Just because you lied to yourself about Bam Adebayo, that's fine. That's your fault. That's the Heat's fault. That's your fault. That's the writer's fault. Okay? I know I'm the football guy, but I'm the guy that told you Bam was never going to be a star. He's a super role player. That's what he's comfortable being. Él no tiene cojones. He's not the guy that will impose his will. He doesn't have any kind of Alonzo Mourning in him. He has no Dwayne Wade. He has none of that. His DNA has never been built that way, never will be built that way. It's not who he is. He doesn't even have P.J. Brown's edge. P.J. Brown was the gentleman of all gentlemans. On the court, a mother effer. He wasn't going to take shit from anybody. And he was going to let you know about it too. Now, guy's not built that way. Tyler's not built that way. Okay? It is what it is. What Jimmy did for 4 years was phenomenal. We have to appreciate it. We have to embrace it. Sadly, Riley and company failed in getting another star. And the rest of you out there tried to manufacture it by forcing others that don't belong there. And that's your fault. Remember, we talk about this all the time. The fan that builds up their own expectations and then they get mad at the team because they didn't meet their expectations. Those of you out there that thought Jimmy could turn it on, he can't anymore. He proved it all year long. He's done. He's cooked. It's over. The run's over. You lied to yourself. You thought Bam could be great. You lied to yourself. You thought Tyler's the guy. You lied to yourself. That's all it is. But listen to the football guy next time. The football guy actually knows that Bam's not really a superstar and that Tyler's just not the guy. Just ask the football guy. The football guy will tell you. You know, the football guy is the guy that says Dale Talon should be fired before anybody because nobody had the balls to say Dale Talon's not doing the job. But the football guy did. And the football guy tells you you can't win with Barkov and Huberdeau as your leaders. You've got to trade one, and that's Huberdeau. Go get another star. They went and got Kachuk. But that's the football guy talking. But I get it. I'm labeled the football guy. So, you know, what am I going to know about basketball and hockey? And I'm going to tell you Messi's arrived. He will be here. Trust me. Soccer. I don't know. But I'm the football guy. It's all right. I'm the football guy. I've only been following all sports since I was a kid and covering them all for 34 years. I know exactly what goes on. What I'm not afraid of is actually telling you what really is going on. Some of you are just afraid of actually telling the truth. You got to lie to yourself. Oh, no, Bam's going to be that guy. No, he's not. He's not built that way. You keep waiting. Go ahead. Keep waiting. The Heat were phenomenal last night. They did the best they could with what they have. There are no stars on the court last night. None. Not even Jimmy. Before the knee injury. He's not a star anymore, dude. It's over. Can't impose his offensive will anymore. Those days are done. He's done. You need to ride it out. What you got to do is stop lying to yourself. That's what you got to do. Stop lying to yourself. Last night was phenomenal. Was another Eric Spoelstra masterpiece of this is the only way we can win. We need, some of you aren't old enough, but you are. Panther hockey, when they went to the first Stanley Cup, right? What's the only way they could win? Fight, scratch, claw, throw it into the corner, Beezer, stop 40 shots, win 1-0, right? I mean, those of you that lived it, the Panthers got into a game. If the other team was explosive, i.e. Colorado, finito, over. Forsberg and company, it's over, bro. You can't stay with them because they're high-powered. You're not. You have to muck it up. And that's exactly what Spoelstra did. He did the Florida Panthers in 96. He got Mellenby and Scrudlin and he just made, and Loss and company, and just made it ugly. Ugly basketball, ugly hockey. Let's get 90s basketball involved into the 2020s. That's what he did last night. Master. He's the best, dude. Another example why Eric Spoelstra is God, bro. He is God. What he did yesterday was awesome. And they executed it, and they did their best to stay in there. It was a beautiful performance by the Heat last night. A team with no stars, limited offensively, and they hung in there with the team that's superior with two legit stars. I don't know. I can argue, is Kelly Oubre maybe as good as almost anybody on the Heat right now? Shit. Anyway, I mean, it's crazy. They did a great. I was really happy with the Heat last night. Like a lot of people are walking around depressed and disappointed. I'm not, because I know who they are. including last night. Do you know what the record for the Heat is in the last 44 games? I bet you can guess it, because I'm kind of laying it up now for you. Who have they been in the last 44 games? 22 and 22. For 44 games. I went back last night. Since January 17th. 44 games, 22 and 22. I've been trying to explain this to you for a while. This is who they are. I know Jimmy's going to have an MRI now. He's having it in this hour, and we'll find out. But I watched the game last night. Bulls are better right now. They said it already? Okay, I don't know.
But that happened during Sports Center did a breaking over there, and
I
it
can't
was.
see him play tomorrow, bro.
No, it was.
You can
out,
tell
it was
that
out,
after halftime, that shit stiffened up on him.
They did a break-in during the NBA thing, and they said breaking news that he was going to be out for several weeks. But I don't know if that was after the MRI or if that was just them going off what's already been reported.
Well, yeah, I mean, because people are going off on all kinds of shit, and I don't even know what's. Let me see here if there's anything on the wire. So far, I'm not seeing anything. Anyway, no injury report yet. Okay. All right. So, okay, now here's the other side of this now. Okay. And I want, again, we deal in reality here. We don't go playing hypotheticals. We don't do any of that kind of stuff here. We don't try to create sensationalism and bullshit here. Here's where I want you to, this is the mindset I want you in right now. Okay. All right. I'm not a sports psychologist, but I play one every day. Okay. Just like I'm not a financial advisor, but I can play one. Anyway, you cannot get rid of Jimmy Butler's contract. So let's just get that straight. Okay. Because I know that that's what's coming next. Oh, we got to trade Tyler. We got to trade Jimmy. Nobody wants those guys. Okay. Jimmy Butler's contract's untradeable. He doesn't help you out in the regular season. So no team's going to pay $50 million for a guy that doesn't play in the regular season. And you no longer can expect Jimmy Butler anymore in the playoffs. Those days are done. So what the Heat have to do is live out this contract, which is 2 years left, and then big send-off, retire his number, thank him for his services. He gave you an incredible 5 years. You can't ask for more from Jimmy Butler. The guy did everything he possibly could. He was a phenomenal pickup. You failed in not giving him the star next to him. He failed by bringing Kyle Lowry here. But maybe he brought Kyle Lowry here because he knew he was the only guy that could cover him. Anyway, as I digress, you will not be able to trade that contract. So that contract is stuck with you like luggage for 2 more years. Tyler Hero. Nobody wants Tyler Hero. You're going to have to add a first rounder to it. You can't keep doing that shit. So you just got to live out his contract, or B-side. Something happens next year and he wakes up and he has this phenomenal season, and leading up to the trading deadline, somebody wants him and you can unload him. Some miracle, he builds up his value and some team wants to trust him. Sucker. That's Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's your only hope. Okay? Let's just put it that way with Tyler here. So let's cut that shit off right now. The Butler and the Tyler, stuff. And, you can bag this one, and then we could tell people to go check it out, because that's the reality of what you've got with Butler and Tyler. So the next 2 years are about letting that contract expire, develop the rest of the guys, get liquid again so you can go buy yourself a real star. But the answers aren't going to go get a broken down Jimmy Butler for next year and team him up with an older Damian Lillard who really didn't perform the way he should this year. So, don't make that mistake. Don't compound your problems by adding another older player. It's over. Turn the page, get ready for something new and something fresher. That's what I would do. Okay? I see Joseph is in. Was he first? Or because I don't know, because you open it up and it's a little later and you never know, but I want to give. It was Joseph? Good for him. All right, Joseph. What's that? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, sir. No, I don't think they win Friday without a healthy Jimmy. Even if Jimmy plays, they're done. Put it that way. If this is the Jimmy Butler that's going to play, they're done. So if he was healthy, yeah, but no. Adebayo's a total non-factor in the game, especially on offense. That's your fault. All right, Oscar Rojas, that's your fault. When you complain about Bam, that's your fault. Your fault. You expected it. You're wrong. You understand that, right, Oscar? I'm sure you did this early and you might not be around, but if you think Bam should step up, you're the problem. Good morning, says Miles Deep. Thank you, sir. Well, just got the afternoon there in Vegas at 12:22. C. Dola is in. Time for Bam and Hero to step. Your problem. Anyway, Cosa Nostra, great win by Real Madrid. Here we come for our 15th League Champions Cup. Luis Benito's in the house. Jim Gleason. There's no stepping up for Bam. He is what he is. See, Ray understands. Get it. The Drew, Lisa Rose, Brian Landis, Les Jams. Think Blue Dodgers is waking and bacon. Checking in from Canoga Park in L.A. Brian Walters, Gus 1388, Giovanni, Luis Benito, Sneak Attack. I understand the doom and gloom, guys, but I've been watching the Heat solely to see if this team has a future since the present is bleak at best. Jovic and Jaquez, and Jaquez Baz have bright futures with us. Yes, they do. You are correct, Sneak Attack. I do like the young guys, and that's what you got to do now the next couple of years. Focus on developing the young guys. Jimmy just compliments them, and then you move them out. So there you go. Roderick is in the house. He likes Real Madrid. Let's see. Sharon Calderon, Jeff from Long Island, listening to Wednesday's show. Luis Benito, Dude 67. Man Dog says Bulls versus Heat for another sudden death playoff match. Yes. Josh, Brandon Roud, Big O, does last night's Heat game epitomize what you've been saying about Jimmy all season? Is he cooked? He's done. He's done. You know, what are you going to do? It was going to happen, bro. Come on, man. It's got a lot of mileage on him. Alexis is in. Maximus says, do you think the front office will run it back again since they can say, well, Jimmy was hurt, they can say whatever they want. They can sell whatever they want. I know what's going on. I knew what was going on this year. And so, they can sell whatever they want. I'm going to tell you what is really going on. And they have no choice. It'll be impossible to get rid of those contracts. So they're going to have to bring back pretty much everybody. Except what? They're going to lose Hayward. Highsmith. Probably. Hey, he had some baskets yesterday, dude. He played well. I know Jaquez had the turnovers at the end, but he had a good game too. He looked good, man. I like our young guys. Ocala Joe, yes, he was in the house, Oscar. He was. Bam Adebayo really only had 9 shot attempts. I really wish he'd believe in himself more. He doesn't, bro. That's not who he is. And you got to stop with that already. Steven Gonzalez, the Drew. Wish Jimmy got a ring. Would have been so wholesome. It would have been, Hunter. You are correct. But they didn't give him that star. And I said it from the day they acquired him. This ain't going to end up with a championship if you don't find another star. And they never found that other star. Troy, Riley can't do anything to shake this up, bro. They've made a lot of bad decisions, and they're stuck with bad contracts. That's it. And I'm not even discussing Riley. I love Riley. I'm backing Riley 1,000%. It is what it is, dude. Just got to live with it. Riley's giving me way too much good shit to, And look, they still made it to the playoffs. So, well, kind of, right? Because playing's not really considered the playoffs, actually. Yeah.
They got the participation trophy.
Right, exactly. Les Jam says, Heroes' defensive liability and lack of awareness boxing out. Oh, yeah, God, yeah. You saw when Batum just went right through him and grabbed the rebound and put it back. It was like, yeah, Tyler's not a tough kid, dude. He has no edge to him. It's just because you saw that stupid scowl in the bubble. And then, the Heat Nation goes crazy and starts and it's been like that. He's a myth from a bubble. Tyler Hero is a myth from a bubble. It's amazing how it's like being the Starland vocal band. Okay? It's like being modern English. Okay? It's like being Rockwell. It's like being what's the name of that act? Somebody I used to know. What's the name of that band? The guy that sang Somebody I Used to Know with the girl and they're all painted up and all that. Come on. Give it to me. Huh? Oh, yeah, Gautier. It's a one-hit wonder. It's a one-hit wonder. You're the Starland vocal band. Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight. Right? You're Gautier. Somebody I used to know. You got that one song. You're Rockwell. Somebody's watching me. That's all you got. And you lived on that, and you're still touring on that. I got a little tune for you, Mambo number 5. And the dude is touring on that 20 years later. And he's got a credit card commercial on a one-hit wonder. That's Tyler effing Hero. A one-hit wonder in a bubble. A myth in a bubble. That's Tyler Hero. That's what we've made of Tyler Hero. We got Jeremy Lin, and we pumped it up with a bunch of steroids. In New York, they did it for a month, and then it ran its course. Here, we've had Jeremy Squin for like 4 years now. Except he's called Tyler Hero. Same shit. We keep waiting for the boy in the bubble. What is it, John Travolta? Hanging out in the plastic bubble? Is that what we're waiting for? The bubble. The boy from the bubble. The myth from the bubble. Tyler Hero. No, wait, he'll stay healthy this time. No, he'll come through this time. No, this is his time. No, he's going to shine now. This is his season. The myth. The boy in the plastic bubble. Tyler Hero. You idiots keep building that kid up over and over. His bubble's so big, it matches his wife's ass. Because she's got a big bubble. She's got big bubbles. That's your problem. And I've been trying to tell you, that's your problem. I've been telling Ira Winderman for 2 years, that's your problem. Just like I've been telling him also, and when we had Anthony on about Bam Adebayo, and I tell all of you out there about Bam Adebayo, phenomenal young man. You want him to marry your daughter. You want Bam Adebayo to represent your corporation. But you don't want Bam Adebayo to be your number one player because that's not who he is. He's too nice. He's too good. See, I like Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade has those boyish looks, and then he wants to cut your effing heart out. I like that. Magic Johnson had a smile that is worth billions of dollars. One of the greatest smiles I've ever seen in my life. And then he got on the court, and he wanted to cut your heart out and laugh at you after. Bam Adebayo doesn't have any Alonzo Mourning in him, bro. None. Alonzo Mourning, the second he walked into a building to play, just the intensity just takes over. It's practice. Your fault. The media's fault. Miami Heat's fault. Fans' fault. Your fault. So every time you tell me Bam should have stepped up, your fault. Oh, Tyler failed. Your fault. You expected them. Your fault. Your bad assessment. That's all I can say. Can't say anything more because nobody's been more consistent than I have about this. This isn't fly by night. This isn't waffling. Some of the favorite things that some of the local media loves to do, waffle. Oh, they like it this day. No, they don't like it now. We don't do that here. We go conviction one way or the other. We're either right or we're wrong. That's it. But we're not going to be waffling. Oh, no, I believe in Tua. No, I don't believe in Tua. No, I believe in Tua. No, I don't believe in Tua. We got plenty of wafflers like that. You know? Based on the cap situation and our current contract situation, it sounds like 2 years before we can get past Jimmy Duncan, Rozier. Joel, what's wrong with you, bro? Are you really worried about Duncan's contract? Duncan's contract is a bargain. It's a great contract. And Rozier was playing better. I'm just talking about Jimmy, my brother. Jimmy's contract is the one that is an albatross. And Tyler's contract is an albatross. Bam is fine, actually. Bam is fine as your 3. He's just not a star. He can't carry your franchise. He's not a 1 or a 2. Bam doesn't fit there. Bam fits the third role where he just compliments guys. Okay? He's involved in the offense when they involve him in the offense. The one or the two, the offense runs through them. They demand the ball. They want the ball. They need the ball. That's not Bam. So there's nothing wrong with Bam. It's you out there that you miscast Bam where he's not supposed to be. That's your problem. That's the Heat's problem. That's Pat Riley's problem. Okay? Nothing wrong with Bam. It's you that you're wrong. You're the one that didn't assess Bam. You're not looking at him the right way. So really, it's Butler and Tyler's contracts that you want to really get out of. I think Rozier will get better here, actually. You have to give Jimmy props, though, to stay in the game. Yeah, dude, no. I'm never complaining about Jimmy. I'm just telling you what he is now. He's done. That's all. I'm not complaining about Jimmy. The Jimmy run was phenomenal. He deserves all the love in the world. He did the best he could. The failure was the front office not getting him another star and listening to him by bringing Kyle Lowry. Oh, my God, that was catastrophically stupid. That was, and I called it right from the get-go. I'm the football guy. I'm the football guy that said signing Kyle Lowry is, and trading for Kyle Lowry is the dumbest thing in the world, and giving him that contract. But I'm the football guy. That's all right. Jovic and Jaquez are the future of this team. You can't trade them. Everybody's expendable. I would keep Duncan. I love Duncan, bro. Duncan worked his ass off to become a really good player, a more complete player. I want Duncan on our team. I have no problem extending Duncan when it comes. The guy can play, dude. I have zero issues. I had my issues with Duncan when he was just a shooter. But he proved all of us, including yours truly, wrong when he went to the gym and corrected himself. So I disagree with you. I would not part ways with Duncan. Do you want to part ways with Duncan too? No, not this Duncan, right? This Duncan I like this Duncan, dude. This is a good Duncan. Ultimately, last night proved why Miami cannot keep holding on to certain assets and need to capitalize on getting a star if the opportunity arrives. I agree, Daryl. They try, but they just don't have the pieces anymore. You know? Buying the Bitcoin dip, yes, sir, Fred. I definitely bought it many times over. Can't wait to show you guys. So we're gonna show you guys. Got a nice experiment going on the Cash App for you guys since we showed you. Yeah, Lou Bega. That's the one. Mambo number 5. That dude is living off that one song. That's it. Tyler number 5. Guy lives off of one tune, bro. It's freaking amazing. Howdy, yo. Cool shirt. Thank you, sir. Thank you. A little Billy Idol. When was this? What year was this? Doesn't say it? Oh, nothing. Oh, this one doesn't have anything on the back. I got this in Vegas. I know that this is his Vegas residency. Well, you can tell with the cards. Let's see. There you go. Extra large that I haven't been able to wear in years. I went with Greeper. We went to see Billy Idol, and it was in his Vegas residency. Dude, I want to say it was pre-pandemic, so probably like 6 years ago, I want to say. Maybe, something like that. It was fun. It was fun. I love Billy. I'm a big Billy Idol fan, man. What else do we have here? Joel Embiid, as hurt and bad as he looked, did way more than. Well, but Embiid is Frankie. What are we saying here? You're comparing a superstar, a franchise player, to a super role player, bro. You can't expect a super role player to be Joel Embiid. It's just and if you keep doing that, all you're going to do is torture yourself because you're lying to yourself. You know what I mean? You're wasting your time even mentioning Bam in the same sentence with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid wants the ball. Bam never wants the ball. Ever. Ever. Doesn't help, dude. It's not a guy. He's just not that guy. Jayhawk says Big O as a third, I'd keep Bam. If Jaquez can turn out to be a star and Heat find via draft trade for it, I think we're on track. Yes. But it's not going to happen now because they don't have the cap space. They don't have the assets. So there's no way. That's why you got to wait 2 years so you can become liquid and get a bunch of cap space with Jimmy off and maybe other contracts, and then set yourself up so you can acquire a star. And then by then, Jaquez or Jovic, you'll find out if they're stars or not. Because in the next year or two, guess what needs to happen? Jaquez or Jovic need to carry the team. The offense is going to have to run through those guys, right? If they're going to turn into, if any of them are going to turn into a star, the offense is going to have to run through them because it can't run through Jimmy anymore. So that's what needs to happen in the next 2 years while you're waiting for Jimmy's contract to expire so you can gain the cap space. You need to focus in on young guys now, and somebody like Spo's going to have to challenge these guys, and one of these guys is going to have to take over and say, this is my effing team. And in the next 2 years, if Jaquez or Jovic or somebody else that we don't know doesn't say this is my team, then you don't have that star. And so now you've got to find a couple of stars again. That's a good thing about the next 2 years. You can focus on the younger guys and see if somebody says, step aside. It's my show. Because Bam's not going to do that. So that's what needs to happen. I always knew Bam was an offensive liability, great role player, hustles, and great defensive player. At this point, he's not even a viable third offensive option. You don't look at him as a he's like the third option, but he feeds through the offense of the two stars in front of him. And then he's fine. And then he can get the rebounds, set the picks, all that kind of stuff. That's where he excels. As I've told you, Bam is a guy that is there to service, not to be serviced. He's not a king. He's a knight. It's just the way it is. Well, Duncan was hurt, sir. That's why Spo didn't play him. But what I'm saying is I'm a Spo guy. I mean, I'm a Duncan guy. Now I'm a Duncan guy. He worked his ass off. He's a good player now. His contract's a bargain nowadays. No, Frankie, the worst mistake they did was giving Kyle Lowry a contract, not Bam. Bam's not the problem. The money slot for Lowry was your problem. You had to fill that with a star while Jimmy could still play. And then Bam would be right in his role. So blame the front office more than anything else. Bam has nothing to do with this. Bam is what he is. He's not a problem. He's perfect to play that Bosch role. You know, Bosch is a 1 or 2 that had to play the 3 role and kind of wait and play off of the stars. That's Bam. That's Bam. That's where he should be. You know, Bosch can then, if 1 or 2 are out, Bosch can step in. Bam can't. Bam has to stay in that 3 role. He has to be PJ Brown. He has to be Udonis Haslam. I mean, how many times have we had this conversation? How many times have we had this conversation? Bam Adebayo is, you know how we came from the caveman? You ever seen that evolution? Right? You ever seen that? That, you're like slouched down until you're straightened up and you're walking and you don't have all that hair and all that and you're kind of like normal, that evolution. Well, started with Grant Long. Then it went to PJ Brown. Then it went to Udonis Haslam. And now it's Bam Adebayo. Oh, I'm sorry. Bosch, then Bam Adebayo. So it's the same guy all the way through. He's not the 1 or 2. He's not Cycly Rice. He's not Zoe or Timmy. He's not Shaq or Wade. He's not LeBron or Wade. Or even Bosch. He's the guy that's next, that's super important to you. We had to have Grant Long on the team. Grant Long was so important to everything that was going on. You had to have PJ Brown on your team. He's so important to everything going on. You had to have Udonis Haslam on the team. They're all different kind of players. I'm not comparing the talents. I'm comparing the role that they played to the stars or to the better players on that team. And that's what they're. Do I want Udonis Haslam over Bam Adebayo in a final shot? Oh, my God, yes. It's not even close. Udonis Haslam tiene cojones. He's got more than Bam any day of the week and twice on Sunday, but he's still a 3 at best. When he was at his top of his game, he was a 3 at best. We've had this conversation over and over and over again. I hate repeating myself. But I understand different people listen at different times and they don't catch this segment or they don't listen to the whole show or anything like that. It's your problem that you don't understand where a player belongs in the pecking order. I love Udonis Haslam. Is he a 1 or 2? Never. He was never a 1 or 2. He was a 3 at best. He's the guy you need on your team. Was PJ Brown ever a 1 or 2? No. 3 at best. Bam Adebayo? Never a 1 or 2. Never. When he goes to play USA basketball, do you see him try to take over offensively? No. And nobody around him is going to look at that and say, oh, yeah, it's your game. Go ahead. Because that's not what he does. And so that's the problem here. There's a problem with defining the human being, the athlete. And too many of you defined Bam like he's a star. He's not no star. It's a hell of a role player. Maybe the greatest role player we've ever had. But a role player. That's all. Role player. And nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's nothing wrong. I love PJ Brown. I love Grant Long. I love Bam Adebayo. I love Udonis Haslam. I love Chris Bosh. I love everybody that's played that role. And I want them on my team every stage of the Heat existence. And I don't want Bam to go anywhere. I want the front office to manage better. They've done a shit job of managing the last 10 years. That's where your problem is. You've given away draft picks. You've signed terrible contracts. Terrible contracts for 10 years now. From Dion Waiters to Whiteside to Dedmon to Tyler to Kyle Lowry, Danny Granger, Bob. It's just, it's constant. The terrible decisions that they've made. and I love Riley to death, and I will back Riley forever. But they have not done their best lately. They have been pretty mediocre lately, and they still win. And they still get to the playoffs, and they've still gotten to the finals with their B game. They can't recruit a superstar if their lives depended on it. They can't find a way to make the deal happen. And the only reason they got Jimmy in the end, because really, Jimmy didn't work in most places. So, and they were desperate. They had no one else. Look at it. They got Jimmy and they can't get anybody else. So that's where your failures have been. Not Spo, not Jimmy. Has nothing to do with it. They've done the best they could with what they have. Bam did the best he could with who he is. Where we have to ask for more is from the front office. They have to be better. They have to be better. That's all I'm telling you. All right. Cutter's Edge Pro. Let's talk about William Quigley and the great people at Cutter's Edge Pro. Full landscape design. They can design it for you, create it for you, and create a beautiful oasis in your home like they've done for us. If you have some dogs like we do, artificial turf is maybe the greatest invention of all time. Seriously, easy to maintain. Your dogs are going to love it. They never bring any dirt or mud into the house. It's awesome. No grass, no dirt, no mud. Even when it rains, it drains beautifully. And again, no puddles, nothing. I mean, it is awesome. Remember, you got to call Cutter's Edge Pro. Go to the Instagram page. Reach out to William Quigley, 954-472-0622. When it comes to landscaping, it immediately improves the value of your home. So call them, and you want it done right. I told you a story about a buddy of mine that called Cutter's Edge Pro. He didn't want to do it the right way. He thought he could cut corners. He went and did the artificial turf somewhere else. Within like a couple months, grass is growing right through it. And he's livid, and now he's in a lawsuit. Lo barato cuesta caro. So the cheap ends up becoming expensive. It sounds a lot better in Spanish. But you can, do it the wrong way, or you can do it the right way. Call Cutter's Edge Pro, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties. Do it with professionals. Do it with the people that know how to do it right. And maintenance. They do maintenance. So if you're not happy with where your landscaping is and it kind of needs to be brought up to snuff and you want it to look good, call the great people at Cutter's Edge Pro. You know how to do it right. William Quigley and folks, 954-472-0622. Rise Taylor, thank you for the love on the super chat. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin donation right here in the middle of this dip, too. Rise, thank you for the super chat. Butler did all he can do, but once again, when he needed help, no one stepped up. At least Tyler had the guts to want the ball. Bam shrunk once again. Yeah, but that's what Bam did, dude. Bam didn't shrink. That's who he is. You guys keep doing that to him. Stop doing that to him. It's not who he is. It's not who he's been. He's never been that guy. You keep asking somebody to be something they're not. You can't do that. I told you, Sean. Okay? If you're going to break the world record in the 40, you can't have that, that food that you're having this afternoon. So if you want to break the record of 421 in the 40, what's wrong with you, bro? Let's go. See what I'm saying?
So you're saying I'm like Bam?
Well, I'm that guy's treating Bam like I'm going to treat you like Bam. Like, yeah, no, I'm expecting you to break 4.2/140. When you and I in our dreams couldn't break 4.2/140. We can borrow Usain Bolt's legs, and we still won't break 4.2/140.
No, I could break 4.2/140. Today's the 18th.
Board that said
no. Today's the 18th. 4.21 would be 4.21. That gives me 3 days to do the 40. I'm good.
Okay. He beat me on that one. He got me on that one. He got me on that one. He got me on that one, bro. He got me on that one. Whew. Let's see where we at here. By the way, where is Bitcoin? Is it still at 63? Boy, this has been a sweet dip. 63,380 right now. What were you going to say?
I was if I do any running, I may be out for a couple of weeks, so we might need a replacement for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. You know? And that's what we have to do. We have to stop putting unrealistic expectations on people, and they don't deserve it because it's not who they are, and that's not who Bam is. When Bam's contract comes up again, we can't make the mistake of paying him like a superstar number 2 player. He needs to be paid like a role player, which means leaving to another team. Well, it all depends on what you have around here. If you have 2 stars, you can still pay Bam. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so let's get to our 3A graphics sports calendar. Alan Blanco in Hialeah, 786-618-1443. Custom printing and embroidery if your company needs it. Call our great people at 3A Graphics. Sixers over the Heat, 105-104. Miami now will continue in the play-in. They will take on the Bulls on Friday at 7 o'clock. Bulls defeated the Hawks 131-116. Bro, Kobe White, 42 points. Holy shit, dude. Wow.
131. You've said it before. The Heat can score 131?
They couldn't score 116, what the Hawks did. So, yeah. Giants over the Marlins, 3-1. No surprise there. They dropped to 4-15, 2-11 at home. Today, 7:40. Are you sure it's AJ Puck? Puck sucks. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not puke, it's Puck sucks. I like that. Okay. So AJ Puck sucks, 0-3, 591 against Jamison Talion. Lakeland kid, by the way. Yeah. It's practically a touchdown, yeah. And then Saturday at Chase Stadium, 7:30, Inter hosting Nashville. Nashville's in 14th place. Miami's tied for first. Does that mean anything to you?
That means Messi's playing all 95 minutes.
But does it mean anything to you? Do you go into that game with any more confidence because Nashville's 14th?
No.
Because Nashville is the biggest pain in the ass since Miami came into the league. So I am hoping they beat Nashville like 7-0, bro. Seriously. Like I'm here in Hialeah, but I'm coming back on Saturday and I'm going to find some lady somewhere and put some brujeria on Nashville. Because, bro, they are a pain in the ass when it comes to Inter Miami. So Miami's tied for first with 15 points with the New York Red Bull, and Nashville's in 14th place with 7 points. And yet, I am terrified of this matchup on Saturday. And we have the best player in the world. It's crazy. It really is. I go into a game that I'm going to be really nervous as a fan because stinking Nashville. I hate Nashville. It's like hating the Jets and the Patriots and the Bills. Not quite, but it's getting there. Seriously. some of you aren't really into Inter like I am. I mean, I've been into Inter and Miami FC and the Strikers, and so I've always supported our local soccer teams. I've always been a soccer fan. Anybody that follows me knows. Doesn't matter if it was a Fusion, doesn't matter Miami FC, Inter Miami, the Strikers. I have always been a major supporter, and I will always be a supporter of local soccer. So for me, it just means a little bit more than most people. All right, let's take a quick break. Hour number 2 is next, and Matt Veram from Sports Illustrated will join us next.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding. Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Matt Veram. Matt, how you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Feeling good. I thought we were, for a brief moment, going to get to talk about Knicks Heat, the sequel, but alas, it is not to be. It is Knicks Sixers.
Can I ask you something? Because, I've been in people's crawl down here for a while for some. And I'm interested to see how you look at it because you follow basketball, you know your basketball, and you're a Knicks guy, and so you see a lot of the Heat over the years. And I love Bam Adebayo. I do. I love Bam Adebayo, and I tell people all the time I love Bam Adebayo, but I get pissed at people, not at Bam. And the Heat does it. Some of our writers do it. I have Ira on, and he tries to sell me on it. And my problem is that I think people keep miscasting Bam Adebayo, and they keep wanting him to be a star. And I call him a super role player. And it's a guy you want on your team. You need Charles Oakley, and you need Dennis Rodman, and you need PJ Brown, and you need Udonis Haslem, and there are always guys you need on your team that you've got to have, that they're glue guys, are super important to you, but they're not the star. And I know he makes the Olympic team and all that crap, but when he goes to the Olympic team, he's not the guy taking over offensively. He never has been. And so I wonder, are you any one of those kind of people that think that Bam is a star, or he's a hell of a player, but it's a different kind of hell of a player. It's not really a franchise player. And I try to explain that. So I'm wondering, from an outsider's point of view, how do you view Bam?
I think he's a very good player. I view Butler as the only like true blue, that guy terrifies me player on Miami. Now, I honestly, as a Knicks fan, I don't know how people feel about this. I look at OG Anunoby in the same light that I look at Bam Adebayo.
Right.
A really good player, like a guy that you'd pay significantly to have in the team. And in that case, in both their cases, like both phenomenal defensive players, but like guys that if you're like, yeah, we need 20 out of you every night, we're kind of concerned.
No.
Like, you may not get 20 out of you. Like OG Anunoby, if the Knicks get 15 out of him every night, that's fine. If they get 15 out of him and all NBA defense, awesome. But like, do I think the Sixers are quaking in their boots facing Anunoby? Probably not. Maybe on the defensive side they are. Right. But on the offensive side, they're like, we got to stop Brunson. And I think when teams play Miami, it's like, we got to stop Jimmy. And if we stop Jimmy, then we're in pretty good shape unless Miami starts shooting the lights out. With
if it's Tyler or Duncan, especially, or whatever.
You'll take that, Terry Rozier, and you'll take that gamble.
Right.
Just like the Sixers in this series against the Knicks are going to say, we're going to let Dante DiVincenzo beat us. And if he beats us, we lose. That's what's going to happen. Like, if he beats us and Trey McBride beats us and Bogdan Bogdanovic beats us, we lose. Then we lose.
But Brunson cannot beat us.
Right. But we will do everything imaginable to get the ball to Jalen Brunson's hands.
Of course. Of course.
And the truly great players like Brunson and Butler, they're still going to score 30. They're still going to find their way.
Yeah. Although I don't think Butler's that guy anymore. Even before the injury, all year long, I kind of think he's unfortunately kind of hit the wall already. It was time, bro. He had all those.
Been great for a long
he's
time.
had all those minutes, all those practice minutes with Thibodeau. He's got a lot of wear and tear on that body, and so it's been a phenomenal run that no Heat fan, no NBA fan could ever have predicted. That if I told you in the last 4 years the Heat were going to go to 3 conference finals and 2 NBA finals, you would have told me you're smoking what? What drugs are you on? They won't even go to 1 conference final. Okay. And they overachieved, dude, to hell. So with 1 star. And by the way, having said all that, as much as Jimmy's been great, in a real breakdown, is Jimmy your number 1 star on a team that really is led by stars? He's probably a 2. He's not a 1. He's not a Magic. He's not a Wade. He's not a Shaq. He's even a 2 in a real pecking order. And yet he's carried this team like a 1 because that's all they've had.
No, I have not. I've been doing a million things today. So like, I know, is there any news in terms of Butler? Like, is he going to?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're waiting.
I will say this about him. I know the Celtics. Look, the Celtics are massive favorites against anybody they play in the East. If I'm the Celtics, the last thing I want to see is that guy. I don't care. I know they'd be massive favorites. They should beat Miami. They should beat everybody in the East.
Yeah.
If I'm Boston, I'm praying for the Bulls, man.
Yeah.
The last thing in the world I want to see is that the Heat are better than anybody else in the NBA at playing above their weight. It's incredible how they do it in the playoffs.
Look what he did yesterday. Look what Spo did yesterday. Whipped out that zone.
Should have won that game.
And he mucked it up. And the only way they could stay in that game is to play the ugly game, and that's exactly what they did, and they almost won it, bro.
It took Nick Batum scoring like 23, 24 points, whatever the hell it was. Guy averaged just 5. Okay, that's what it took. I will tell you this:
to play like he used to play 12 years ago, bro.
Yeah, I'll tell you, truthfully, I mean, not that anybody in Miami cares. As a Knicks fan watching that game, I took away from that. If Embiid plays like that, it's over.
Yeah,
the Knicks should win this year. The Knicks should win that series if that's what Embiid looks like.
Yeah,
couldn't move.
Yeah, no. He's because he's still fresh from coming back. He's not himself yet. No.
At that point, you just don't double him, and you make everybody else, and you just stick on Maxey and you stick on Harris, and just say, "Go ahead."
Yeah. You better control Maxey and Oubre too. Oubre at times.
Oubre's dangerous. Yeah, he's a good
Oubre
player.
can get off at times. That's the one thing that you look at. You got to be careful because the other day Oubre killed Miami.
No, he can shoot. He can get hot. So it's but I look at Philly and think if Embiid plays like that, they just don't. Like if I'm the Knicks, I'm like, all right, that's fine. You're gonna have your 25 points, but we're not letting you beat us any other way. It'll be interesting. If Randall was in the series, I'd feel great, but of course, he's out for the year. So
right, exactly. And let me tell you something with Boston, where I'm dead ass wrong, because I didn't think they would be here. It's because I never thought Porzingis would last.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's kind of the thing, right?
I'm kind of like, wow, he has stayed healthy the whole year, played well, and he's the wild card.
No question.
And the wild card, maybe I sapped it now. Maybe I gave him bad luck now, but the dude has stayed injury free, which is not, he's unreliable. That's the reason why I don't like Porzingis. It's because he's always been unreliable. Look at Zion.
Yeah,
brother, he was having a hell of a game, and right at the moment you need him the most,
gets hurt.
Dude, you can't do that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way I look at Porzingis. It's like, wow, man, he has not broken down. It's amazing. All right, let's get to football.
Let's go to football. Yep.
How much is this all bullshit, bro? Because it's usually like all this about quarterbacks. I know, being a Dolphins fan and everybody talking about 21, hell, we're hoping McCarthy and Penix and every other quarterback in the world makes it in front of him because it starts to push other players back for the Dolphins because they're going to need somebody. They're going to go for a D or O lineman. I'm pretty damn sure of that. And so we're praying for that. But what are you hearing? Because there's a bunch of these guys that I would not take that early, and I'm just wondering what the hell is what's real and what's Memorex, bro.
I think you're going to have 5 quarterbacks go before the Dolphins. I really do. I mean, I think you're certainly going to have 4. And then is it, I think Michael Penix is more likely to go before Bo Nix. I really do. Like, I think Nix is that guy who you'll look at and say, could he go in the top 15? Maybe. Could he be the 40th pick in the draft? Possibly. Like, his range is all over the place. And I think there's a lot of questions about where he goes. But I think for Miami, look, you're going to have those big 3 receivers off the board. Brock Bowers is going to be off the board. Alt's going to be off the board. Let's say 5 quarterbacks. That's 10 players right there. And then I think Verse and Turner will be off the board. So that's 12. That leaves you with guys like Fashanu and Flaga and Fatana and so on and so forth on the offense. Powers Johnson, a guy who I think would be awesome for Miami, the interior offensive lineman, the center out of Oregon, Graham Barton, who can play center or can play left tackle. I think Miami's in a pretty good spot. I really do.
I agree with you there. I think they are in a good spot, and it is amazing to me. Now, do you look at J.J. McCarthy as that guy also, just in case? Because I know you talked about 5 guys, because they're talking about McCarthy too. So you would put him in there too?
I think McCarthy's going to go in the top 6 picks.
Yeah, 6. Okay.
I mean, I think you're going to have Williams at 1 for sure. And then after that, it's like, is it Daniels? Is it May? But I don't even think it really matters in the sense I think they're both top 3 picks. And then I think McCarthy, the worst, I think, is 6 to the Giants.
So are you buying Bo Nix, McCarthy, and Penix?
I'm buying the fact that McCarthy's going high. That's what I'm buying.
Okay.
Am I buying him as a player? I have real doubts. I won't say severe doubts. I have real doubts.
Okay.
I have real doubts when you are not one of the top handful of reasons your team won games. Like that.
So you think he's Mark Sanchez?
I think based on his college tape, I think he's fine. Like I think he's like, Kenny Pickett. I don't know. I mean, Kenny Pickett had one outrageous year with Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Other than that,
no, that's it. I saw times that Kenny Pickett did some shit there with Les. You know, the reason why I mentioned what's it called, Sanchez, because he was loaded at USC, and then he got to the Jets, and they had a vicious defense, one of the great offensive lines, and a running game that he really, all he had to do was manage. And then when he was put in those moments, he wasn't the guy. And so, you know, this guy was spoiled with a loaded Michigan team. There aren't moments where it looks like McCarthy's really, you know, carrying them. It's really more like he's just a conductor. And so that's kind of like the thing that you wonder, is he a lot like, you know, Dirty Sanchez there? And so that's that's the thing that scares me about JJ McCarthy and some of these guys. Caleb, I look at Caleb and dude, I don't care what anybody tells me. I look at Drake May and I see NFL quarterback.
He can throw the football.
He can throw.
He can sling it.
Yeah, bro.
He would be my number 2 for the record.
Yeah, he would be my number 2. And then Jaden Daniels, I don't know enough about him. It's been kind of up and down for him a little bit. And so I know he's gotten better as it's gone on. Yeah. But then I start the other guys. I don't know, bro.
I'll tell you right now. And the more I talk to people in the NFL, the more I think this isn't a minority opinion. I would take Penix over Nix, and it wouldn't be close. Okay. I would take Penix over McCarthy. I would. And now I get why teams won't. He's 24. He's tore his ACL twice. I get it. I'm not even I wouldn't take him in the top 5. I don't think he's top 5 pick in this draft, but I'd take him in the first round.
Right.
He was not very good in Indiana, largely because he was hurt a lot. When he went to Washington, now granted, this is a team that has tons of talent on it, okay? I mean, we're talking multiple big-time linemen, Polk, and the Dunze, all the rest of it. But, man, he can throw the ball. Like, when you watch that kid throw the football, that ball is going somewhere. Yeah. Bo Nix, everybody's going to bring up the stats. Everybody's going to go, he threw for 45 touchdowns and 3 picks. If you watch Oregon, a lot of it is like, hey, man, get the ball out of your hands. Manufactured reads. Like, don't have to do a whole hell of a lot to rack up a whole bunch of statistics. Like, it's like back in the day when quarterbacks would come out of the University of Houston, right? And it would be like, you know, Andre Ware or a David Klingler type. And you'd be, oh, my God, these numbers. And then you'd watch them. Yeah, but I don't know. Bo Nix at Auburn, where I watched many games, he was not good. And I mean like flat out, like not like decent, like he can't play. He couldn't play at Auburn, and then went to Oregon and the offense changed. Everything was great. I think if you're going to draft Bo Nix, you better have a team where he can just play point guard, where he's just I'm going to drop back and everything's defined for me, and I can just like a San Francisco type thing where it just boom, boom, boom. Now she's not going to the Niners, but that kind of a scheme. If he goes somewhere like Denver, which everybody's been talking about, the Denver loves him. He goes to Denver. Good luck, man. I mean, Cortland Sutton and who? You and me?
Yeah, no.
Where's the ball going?
This is going to end up like the other guys that they've picked lately. The what's the name of the kid that they had there recently? And
Denver? In Denver?
Ooh. Yeah, in Denver.
Oh God, they've had a million quarterbacks. They had Trevor Siemian. They had Flacco.
Draft picks. The kid Drew Lock and Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
This is going to go the Drew Lock Paxton Lynch way, bro.
But the one thing with Lock, and he hasn't been good. But like he had a cannon. He can throw.
He's got skills, bro. Yeah.
I watched Bo Nix at the Senior Bowl, and I'm not trying to really bag on him, but like that arm is not. Like you're not fearing Bo Nix throwing the ball on a seam route here. Like that's the one thing I will say.
Drew Lock and Paxton Lynch.
Because he could throw,
They both had athletic ability. Yeah, you're right.
The problem with Paxton Lynch, the game was like 8 times too fast. But yeah,
right. He just.
I remember watching him his first preseason game and thinking like, this is over. It's a preseason game, and he can't figure out what the hell to do in the pocket. No, I would say the one thing about this draft from a quarterback perspective that I think is incredibly undersold. Look, put Williams aside for a minute because we know he's going to the Bears. Fine.
Yeah. No, that's
the rest of these guys. I think if you're the quarterback, whether you're May, whether you're Nix or Penix, whether you're Daniels, you know where I want to go? I want to go to Minnesota. That's where I want to go. Put me on a team with Jefferson, with Addison, with Darrisaw as my left tackle, with Hawkinson at tight end, and Kevin O'Connell as my offensive mind. I want to go there. That is, to me, that's the one way in my mind. Like if McCarthy goes there, he'll be fine because O'Connell will just get the most out of him, and they've got a ton of weapons. Like how hard is it to be, hey, man, JJ is 25 yards downfield, throw it to him. I think that's the one situation, and I think that's so underrated when we talk about this stuff. Like if he goes to New England, who is he throwing to? You've got a first-year defensive-minded head coach, and you have nobody. Like that to me, we talk about all these guys as you're going to bust, you're going to be a star. Where's he going? Because the same kid going to Minnesota and going to New England, I give you two vastly different outcomes.
Yeah, I'm with you there. If you're the Dolphins, do you think my boy Latu from UCLA is there at 21? Because he's thinking awesome. Him. I'm thinking Guyton. I'm thinking Jackson Powers Johnson. I don't know if the Latham kid from Alabama will last. I don't think so.
If he does, I think you take him in a heartbeat.
And I don't think Jared Verse, unless we can slip maybe a crack pipe on him, and maybe Jared Verse can fall to 21. But
I don't think Verse is getting there.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So do you think my boy Latu's the guy I really want at 21?
So I did my one and only serious mock draft where I actually tried to get it right, which of course we got 5 picks, right? It's the nature of these things.
Right.
So Latu was available at 21. And actually so was Latham. But
you took an alignment for us, an O lineman?
I took for you guys, I took Jackson Powers Johnson. Yeah. He was the one. Latham was there. I was like, maybe. I just feel like there's such a need in the interior for the Dolphins. And that kid to me is awesome. Like I'm plugging that guy in. I think he's going to make a half dozen Pro Bowls. I just think the center position is maybe the most underrated position in the NFL. People don't realize the amount of work those guys do play in and play out. And I think if Powers Johnson's there, I'm taking him if I'm Miami. That's the guy. I just think he makes so much sense. I'm with you on Latu, by the way. I think he is going to be fantastic.
I love him.
I had him going later in the first round, but I saw him at the Senior Bowl. That kid, you're gonna make an argument he's the best player at the Senior Bowl that week.
Yeah.
He was.
I don't have a problem with any of those guys.
Yeah, you can all be excellent.
Howard Johnson, if you take Latu, if you take Tyler Guyton, if J.C. Latham last there, I have no problem taking any of those guys. If by some miracle Jared Verse falls there, which I doubt it, I have zero. I think they have. At 21, I don't think they're going to trade out. I think they're going to stay there because there's a really good chance you're going to get a heck of a player. Dude.
I agree. I don't think they'll move out either. And I wouldn't. If I was the Dolphins, I wouldn't move out.
Yeah, the second round pick, I can see them, making a little trade and picking up an extra third rounder or something.
Sure.
I can see something like that since they don't have a third or a fourth. I can see them moving down in the second because when you get to that second round area where they're at, now it starts to kind of look kind of the same, a guy there or a guy 10 spots down. So if you can move 10 spots down and pick up an extra third or 2/4 or whatever the hell it is, I think they're going to do that. But I don't think they move from 21 because they know they're going to get themselves a starter there at that point.
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you this. I've talked to a lot of people in the league, and every year I ask guys, what do you think in terms of the class? Where's the drop off? And a lot of I remember last year it was like pick 75. A lot of people said around pick 75, pick 80. This year, the answers have ranged a little bit more, but it's been mostly between 110 to 125. So you're basically, it's a really deep class. I've had people tell me, look, this class depth wise is one of the best classes in a long time in terms of, that 100 to 125, which is probably, that's about end of the third round to the middle of the fourth, somewhere in there. But then people also will tell you that after that, it drops off a cliff. it drops. I mean, like, because you have so many of these kids who have played 6 years in college because of all these COVID years and everything else.
Yeah.
You know, I've had people say, look, you're going to have kids to go to the 5th round this year who normally would be undrafted. Like, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of teams try to move up and package later picks. The question is, how many teams are open for business? Like, if I'm sitting there and I've got a pick that's 95, I'm not willing to go 20 picks back. I don't want to go 20 picks back. I don't care how many 6th rounders you'll give me.
Right.
I don't
want
want
to give me some for next year earlier is probably what
right,
it is.
and that's the question. Like, how many teams will take? So, like, for an example, the Bills have an extra 2nd next year because of the Diggs trade. The Chiefs have an extra 3rd because of this knee trade. How, like, do Bean or Veach, do they say, hey, we'll take those picks and cash them in now and move up now? For people who don't know, a lot of times those picks, if you have to wait a year, they're kind of devalued by a round. So, like, the Bills' 2nd round pick will be looked at as like trading this year's 3rd round pick. And the Chiefs' 3rd rounder from Tennessee will look like a 4th rounder. So that's kind of the value that it works in there. But yeah, I would not be surprised at all if some of these teams that have extra picks next year, they're expecting to have compensatory picks next year, if they're willing to kind of take some of those chips and move them forward because they're trying to move up and get an extra pick in this year's top, 125 or so.
Good shit. All right, what do you got going on in Sports Illustrated, my man?
Got my mock draft up today, which, people can check out. I'll tweet it out here in a second. So if people want to check that out, they can. It's my one and only. I did do an all trades mock on Tuesday, which is just me mocking mock drafts. Every pick got traded. It was chaos. I had fun with that one, but this one's a legitimate one. Other than that, man, check out SI.com all week long for everybody's work, but also Thursday night next week, I'll have the draft grades, instant draft grades. I'll have my favorite picks, my least favorite picks, best available for day 2. I'm going to be all over the place, annoyingly so. So go ahead and check it out.
He will be like Sagwa Fair. He's everywhere.
That's right.
Follow him on Twitter at Matt Veram and catch his work there at Sports Illustrated. Matt, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a great week. We'll talk next week. Draft time.
That's right. Take care, man.
You got it, baby. There you go. Matt Veram. Good stuff as always. Love it. Love it. Let's get to Welt and Rayom. Jeff Welt, Daniel Rayom, the coolest lawyers on the planet, people that will listen to you. Jeff, by the way, huge music guy, loves the Canes, loves the Dolphins, big sports guy. Daniel Rayom, he's a stunt pilot. So, he's got like nerves of steel. He's got ice in his veins. Stepping into a courtroom, he crushes corporations. I mean, we had Progressive abusing our situation. We called Welt and Rayom. They crushed Progressive and got it done for us. They can do it for you. They've done it for many of our listeners already over the last couple of years. And thank you all for calling. I mean, you got paid, handsomely by calling them because you got treated the right way and you got treated fairly, and they protected you better than any left tackle could protect anybody. So call Welt and Rayom. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. By the way, the consultation is free. So if you're not sure if you have a case or not, call 954-966-4646 and ask. Consultation is free. They'll tell you. Welt and Rayom.
Welt and Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welt and Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welt and Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welt and Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
right. Bitcoin 63,485. The market just closed at 22 points up. S&P down 11 points. NASDAQ barely up like 0.6 of a point. So that is about it. That's all we've got. Good stuff. What else do we have to talk about? Heat, obviously, last night. We'll play on Friday. Oh, what's up with the Butler injury, dude? Nothing yet? Nothing? No shams? Really? Yeah. What about Greg Sylvander?
He said that? Well, on his tweet it was. Let me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I get the right. What he sent out was, per sources, of course, Jimmy Butler passed mobility test, no ACL tear, no swelling, but MCL meniscus tear are suspected, out at least 4 weeks at a minimum. This is per source. Nothing has been from anybody else. I've seen nothing.
All right. I know his agent came out and like, yo, man, relax. We got no news, but whatever. We'll see what. I mean, listen, it's over. You know, it doesn't. I just hope it's not something serious for the guy. You know what I'm saying? I just hope it's some kind of, minor tear, twist, or whatever, and it's not like a whole tear and a whole off-season rehab crap and all that. You know, that's not what we need. You know, the poor guy's already at a point in his career, so I would not, crazy. Anyway, what else do we have going on? Game 1 is set for the Panthers, by the way, Sunday against the Lightning, 12:30 at Amerant Bank Arena. Tampa, by the way, beat the Leafs last night 6-4, actually. So Panthers and Lightning both beat up on the Leafs as they go into the playoffs. Marlins lost again, so they're 4-15. You know, the Marlins have the second worst record in the majors. The White Sox are 3-15. Rockies and Marlins are both 4-15. Run differential, -54 for the White Sox, -41 for the Rockies, and -35 by the Marlins. In other words, they've been outscored, the White Sox by 54 runs, Rockies by 41, and the Marlins by 35 runs so far in their 4-15 starts. So you got that going on. AJ Puck sucks tonight at 7:40, 0-3 and a 5.91 ERA, taking on Jamison Talion, Lakeland, Florida kid. So a Florida kid pitching for the Cubs. So Bill Belichick is back in the mix. You see that? Bill Belichick is going to be working with Pat McAfee on his draft spectacular. I saw that and I started to trip out because are you going to bring him on to break down the wide receivers in the draft? Huh? You know, because Bill was so good at picking wide receivers in the draft and quarterbacks. The only reason he has Brady is because of Chris Greer's dad. Don't know if you know that, but Chris Greer's dad was in the front office. It's kind of like Jimmy Johnson. Only reason he has Troy Aikman, it's because somebody in the Dallas organization said, no, we need to draft that guy. And if it wasn't for Gil Brandt, you don't have Troy Aikman. You know? It's interesting. So McAfee apparently hosted Belichick on his show on Wednesday and announced that Belichick will also appear on his NFL Draft Spectacular in the first round in Detroit next Thursday. Asked why he agreed to do it. I'm looking forward to it. Draft day, draft weekend is always an exciting time for everybody, for the teams that are building their teams and for the fans and for everybody involved in it. It's a great event. I'm looking forward to seeing it from the other side. It will be fun in Detroit to be with you guys and get your expertise, says Belichick. So, nope. Robert Kraft did not talk to Pat McAfee. No. And what you're talking about is apparently Robert Kraft allegedly impacted Belichick's job to get the job in Atlanta. Don Van Natta Jr., Seth Wickersham, and Jeremy Fowler of ESPN shared a bombshell article on Wednesday that Kraft allegedly was part of the reason why the Falcons passed on hiring Belichick. In a conversation with Blank, Kraft delivered a stark assessment of Belichick's character. According to a source who spoke to two people, a close Kraft friend, a longtime Belichick confidant, ESPN said the source quoted that Belichick's source as saying, Robert called Arthur to warn him not to trust Bill. That account was backed up, the source said, by the close Kraft friend. Multiple stories have claimed Kraft decided as far back as November 12th of last year that he was ready to move on from Belichick, and that was before the Patriots missed the playoffs for the third time since quarterback Tom Brady left the organization. It's since been revealed that Kraft admitted to Brady's father this past September that it was a mistake not to do whatever possible to keep the Hall of Famer through the remainder of his playing career. Additionally, Apple TV's The Dynasty documentary strongly suggests Belichick's treatment of Brady throughout the second half of the 2010s resulted in Brady's departure. One Falcons source told ESPN Blank likes coaches who feel part of the family. That source indicated Blank realized they would never be that way with Bill. For what it's worth, Patriots spokesperson Stacey James told ESPN that Kraft steadfastly denies saying anything negative to Arthur Blank about Bill Belichick after Robert and Bill mutually agreed to part ways. James added that Robert advocated for Bill to get the Atlanta job. According to Belichick, he believed the Falcons' gig was his up through a few hours before Blank chose Morris. Blank later noted that Morris simply was the right fit for us going forward. Belichick's future, he reportedly has told confidants he would be interested in coaching the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Giants next season. First of all, the Cowboy one ain't going to work because the old man's not going to just say, oh, yeah, Bill, you take over. Bill's going to want to take over. Now, and the Eagles, I don't think Howie Roseman's going to – he's been a phenomenal GM. Why would he want to answer to Bill Belichick? The Giants, well, they've gone nowhere, and so unless they do something with Dable this year, well, you know, if they do, then you'd want to make a change. Now, if they fall on their face, you never know. You know? Ocala Joe, Hialeah boy at Chico's. Yes, he told me he was going to Chico's. He did? Oh, he did? Big O, we just finished having the palomilla steak, moro, and maduros at Chico's. Delicious. Thanks. There you go. There you go. It is so good, bro. So good. I'll go next week. I'll treat myself next week to it. I'll wait a couple weeks. Can't go overboard, you know what I'm saying? But I'll go next week for sure to Chico's. Good for you, Ocala Joe. Good for you, my brother. That was good. It was good to meet them. I got to look for his wife now in the yearbook. I got to find my yearbook. I got to find it because she and I went to Hialeah High together. Let's see. What else we have to talk about on the show? Oh, you see, the NBA didn't screw around with Jante Porter, huh? They banned his ass right from the league, dude. How about that? And let me tell you something. That's the right thing to do. What were you going to say?
That's the only thing they could do, right? Because he actually bet on his team.
Yeah. So the Raptors, Jante Porter has been banned from the league after investigation revealed he disclosed confidential information to bettors, limited his participation in one game while he was with the Raptors, and bet on NBA games while playing in the G League. The NBA announced announcing Porter's ban that its investigation remains open and that it's sharing information with federal authorities. ESPN reached out to U.S. Department of Justice and the FBI for comment. There is nothing more important than protecting the integrity of the NBA competition for our fans, our teams, and everybody associated with our sport, which is why Jante Porter's blatant violations of our game's rules are being met with the most severe punishment, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said while announcing the ban. It's the only thing and the right thing to do. I mean, this guy is a king-sized dumbass anyway. I mean, talk about having zero awareness, dude. There are people. Okay. There are people like Tua Tagovailoa. They suffer a dislocated hip, and they love the game so much that they'll do anything to rehab and get back to playing and doing what they love. They will bulk up. They will do whatever it is to become the better player that they can. It's Dwayne Wade working on his shot. It's Ronnie Cycli working on his post game. It's Jimmy Butler turning himself from a defensive player that he was drafted into an all-star. You know, every player constructs themselves and reconstructs themselves and rebuilds themselves in trying to get better as a player. Duncan Robinson, my God, he already had his contract guaranteed, dude. He didn't have to get better. He was going to make his $90 million one way or another, but he chose to get better. And here we have some asshole that has an opportunity to play in the NBA. The Lord blessed him with enough talent to get to the NBA, and he's doing everything to ruin the opportunity that the Lord gave you. You know, they all give us something. We got some skill. We got to figure out what it is in life, right? Could be radio, doing talk show, could be a dealer. Talk about blackjack dealer, okay? You know, whatever it is. You could be an accountant, a lawyer, a shoe salesman, whatever. Every job in the world is a great job. And we all want to, maybe you're a terrific barista, bro. And that, you know, brings you happiness because you bring a lot of happiness to people every morning when they come to your cafe. Whatever it is, dude, whatever your passion is, it's all respectable. And here's this asshole who just doesn't get it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that doesn't appreciate what he has. So I'm glad that they suspended him permanently. That's it. You definitely don't need to keep that guy around. Let's get to a little music history. Why don't we? In 92 on this date, Def Leppard's Adrenalize started a five-week run at the top of the album charts. In 2015, Green Day was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was their first year of eligibility. Other inductees included Joan Jett, Lou Reed, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Ringo Starr. In 2003, Kiss and Aerosmith announced a co-headlining tour. I remember that. In 2006, a sale of Elton John's clothes raised more than $700,000 for the singer's AIDS charity. In 95, Oasis drummer Tony McCarroll was told by phone that he was out of the band. In 83, on this date, the number one song in America was Dexy's Midnight Runners. Come on, Eileen. Oh. In 2004, Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker opened the franchise of popular chain restaurants Wahoo's Fish Tacos in Norco, California. And that's what happened today in music history. Some birthdays. Let's go with Kourtney Kardashian is 44 years old. America Ferrara is 39. Conan O'Brien is 60. Rosie Huntington Whitley, movie actress, is 36. Melissa Joan Hart is 47. James Woods, actor, 76. And right-wing nut. Miguel Cabrera. This bud's for you. He is 40 years old today. And those are birthdays today. All right. By the way, Powerball, Saturday's Powerball jackpot will now be worth an estimated $98 million. 0 players matched all 6 numbers during the $81 million drawing on Wednesday night. 24, 29, 44, 47, 54. Powerball was due. So there you go. Play the Powerball. You might win. You ever heard of Metallica? Well, James Hetfield is the singer, lead singer. He got a new tattoo. Yep. But it's a different kind of tattoo. Why? When Lemmy Kilmister died in 2015, the Motorhead band leader made sure he went out with a bang, literally. After being cremated, some of his ashes were transferred to bullet shell casings, which were distributed to his closest friends. One of the recipients was James Hetfield. And in return, the Metallica frontman found a creative way to honor one of his biggest inspirations. On Wednesday, Hetfield took to Metallica's Instagram to reveal a special new tattoo. With the steady hand of a friend and tattoo artist, Corey Miller Tattoo, this tattoo, a salute to my friend and inspiration, Mr. Lemmy Kilmister. Without him, there would be no Metallica, he wrote alongside a photo showing off his new ink, a spade inside an iron cross on his middle finger, and bullet casings with Lemmy's ash. Black ink mixed with a pinch of his cremation ashes were graciously given to me, so now he's able to fly the bird to the world. So my man added ashes to the ink, and then the ink went into his body. What?
All right, so Jimmy Butler, MCL sprain.
Okay.
He is out for at least 2 weeks.
Oh, well, the Heat will survive, so it's all right. Okay.
And then also tomorrow, no
okay.
Rozier tomorrow, it looks like. But doesn't say anything about Butler, so.
How about Duncan?
I'm sorry, about Duncan, I'm sorry.
Oh, it doesn't say anything about Duncan.
Yeah, it just says on the injury report, it just has Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier have been ruled out of tomorrow night's playing game versus the Bulls.
Okay. All right. So you got the info. They're done. No, Bulls will win tomorrow. Oh, no, that's right. I'm sorry. That's right. Bam and Tyler are going to explode and carry the that's what's going to happen, right? Right? I mean, yeah. I forgot. Stupid me. Of course, Bam is going to explode, and carry the team. Yes. How could I be so, clueless on this? By the way, Dolphins signed special teams linebacker Cam Brown, formerly of the Giants. He'll be lucky to make the team. Just training camp fodder, whatever. Nothing to, get crazy about. By the way, Greg Doyle has been put through the ringer. You saw that? The whole Caitlin Clark thing? So, apparently it was kind of a creepy press conference. And Greg Doyle was like, yeah, he's the one that if you smile at me, everything will be, and so he apologized. So first of all, because there's, more to it. So, columnist Greg Doyle was widely criticized on Wednesday for his awkward behavior towards Caitlin Clark. Clark was selected number one, as you all know, by the WNBA and the Indiana Fever. She spoke to the local media. Doyle obviously excited about the opportunity to cover Clark, but he had a weird way of showing it. Doyle asked Clark about the heart gesture she makes with her hands. Clark says she does it in every game for her family, right? And then Doyle followed up by saying Clark should start doing it to me and we'll get along just fine. Doyle also told Clark, I like that you're here. A clip exchange that went viral. So a few hours later, he put on an apology. He said, today, in my uniquely oafish way, while welcoming Caitlin Clark to Indy, I formed my hands into a signature hand gesture. My comment afterward was clumsy and awkward. I sincerely apologize. Please know my heart literally and figuratively was well-intentioned. I will do better, Doyle wrote. Now, I know Greg has been involved in some controversies in the past and all that or whatever. I think our society is ultra sensitive. Like some guy got pissed at me yesterday because I went after him because he called me a hypocrite because I ripped some dude that said, oh, Deion's done nothing and this, that. I'm like, dude, it's only been 1 year. And he's won 4 games. They won 1 game the year before. They haven't mattered in 20 years. He's made Colorado matter. And in 1 year, he's done great, actually. And then I on the next day, I'm ripping Mario. And he goes, oh, so you're judging Mario after 2 years, but I can't judge Deion after 1. I go, Mario didn't inherit a 1-win team. And in the way he told me, oh, so you're a hypocrite. So I went after his ass. If you know me, I don't hold back. I don't really care who you are. It's kind of who I am. Sorry, but if you're going to come after me and you think I'm going to... So then he gets all sensitive because I went after him. And I'm like, yo, dude, you thought you called me a hypocrite, right? So just because I'm explaining that you're a dumbass, because Deion took over a 1-win team and it's only been 1 year and he did great. He 4 times the victories in 1 year and recruits left and right, and they're on the map. They're on national television. They're on game day. He did what he was supposed to do in 1 year more than any coach could do in 10 years. The amount of attention he brought to Colorado in 1 year, most teams can't even do that. Mario took over a 7-win, 8-win team, and he's been no better. In fact, do you realize that Manny Diaz's last year at 7-5 is better than the 2 years he's had so far? So, am I wrong here? No, I'm not. And I'm going after his ass. So he gets all sensitive. That's the problem in our society. We're too sensitive. And Greg Doyle was being a goofball, but he was being a decent human being. He wasn't meaning you. When I read the story initially, it was like, yeah, he kind of caught. He was a media member trying to be nice. I've seen how many press conferences have I been to where media members go, "Hey, welcome to Miami, and nice to have you here." And all. I've seen that lots of times. What's the big deal, dude? He was just trying to be nice. He was trying to be cute about the whole heart thing. Hey, you do it with me? What? Just having fun. Was it awkward? Yeah, it was awkward. Do we have to put the guy through the ringer? No, dude. It's ridiculous. He meant no harm. You can tell that he meant no harm. Come on. It gets crazy. And then here's the poor guy getting embarrassed, and now he has to be embarrassed to a point where he has to apologize when he didn't mean anything bad by it, dude. He meant well. I mean, going after Kate, how do you go after Caitlin Clark? Makes no sense. You know what I mean? She's fantastic. She's done nothing to go after. You know what I mean? Our society is just, man, we are soft. Soft. Yes, sir.
Ira, some clarification on Duncan. He's still on the injury report as probable, which is the same designation as what he had yesterday when he didn't play.
Okay.
So,
All right. Rice Taylor again with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Spo had a tough job of getting guys to genuinely believe they can beat Boston minus Butler, but the reality is you have to, even if it will take a miracle. Yeah, it's going to take a miracle, but whatever. Right? Listen, Spo was awesome yesterday. He had a great game plan, and he kept them in it, and they were awesome, dude. We can't complain. We really can't. Remember, you can always make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can also make a Bitcoin donation too. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. All right. The one and only Steve Calibro is in the house. How you doing, my friend?
Big O. It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
Busy week. So I'm a little bit, I come here.
Next week we'll be super busy with the draft.
I know. I come here talking a little about the draft.
Yeah, we'll do a little pre-draft here next week.
Well, I'm thinking more of a bigger picture.
Right?
You're not going to like it. Oh, people are going to say, oh, this guy, just throw him in the river there or something. But so if there was a position and a guy, I forget his name now, but you'll know who he is, that I would go for. I would try, I'm going to give you a little hints here. I would try to change. So our draft picks are kind of crappy, right? We have like a 21 and then it goes to like something like 55 or
yeah,
something.
but the 21 is good.
Yeah, 21's good, right?
Because
so
a lot of good players, because all the quarterbacks are going to push down.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna be in really good shape.
So what do you think about maybe Mike McDaniel will just wake up one day and say, I'm going to try to emulate a lot of those Super Bowl champion teams that had that dominant tight end. And, let's see, Kansas City, Patriots, San Francisco, the name, that's probably 10 or 12 of the Super Bowls in the last 20 years.
Right.
Maybe I'm going to try to be like that. So there's this little kid from Georgia, I think he is.
Oh, Bowers.
Yeah, it's just a little guy.
Yeah,
Probably
small.
this little guy, little toddler there, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about taking him at 21 and everything else is defense? Everything else in the draft is defense.
Love it. Love it.
But
no shot he falls to 21.
I think he does.
No.
I think he's gonna. I don't think he goes before. Okay, let's say this then. Let's say this.
You got a crack pipe or something?
Listen. Let's say this.
So you're the one.
Listen.
So wait a minute. You're the one that gave him the bong mask.
Listen, we're gonna.
Steve Calibro.
No,
he's gonna do it again.
No,
that's what he's doing.
No,
See?
no.
You're not. No. You're not getting away with that shit here.
Listen.
No.
Listen.
We knew somebody planted something on Laramie and then filmed it. It was Steve Calibro.
Yeah, that's the story. We're sticking to it.
So that's why we got Laramie and then we got all those picks. So now Steve Calibro is going to screw Brock Bowers.
No, he's going to 21. He's going at 21.
So where's the crack? Well, how are you gonna plant the crack pipe on it?
Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Weed will not get you to 21 anymore. It's illegal in a lot of places.
Listen.
Sorry.
If he's available at 21.
Well, apparently you're going to make him available.
If he's available at 21 and the Dolphins don't take him, I think there's a place there on 29
that's
the best. I'm going to bet you a milkshake. The Badito, the best milkshakes in the world.
Oh, no, I will go and kick everybody out of the building if they don't pick Brock Bowers at 21.
I think he's going to be available.
I will personally go over in the building and kick everyone out of the building.
Okay.
If they did not draft Brock.
Please call me.
But there's no shot.
I think there's a shot. It's not a great shot, but I think it's there.
No, there's no shot.
Because everybody's focusing on the quarterback. There's going to be 7 or 8 quarterbacks, and that's going to push, I don't know. It's going to I think it's a shot.
He's the guy they don't push. He's one of the few that will not fall that much. He's too special.
Yeah, but there are teams that are beyond 21 that are talking about trying to get him. Now they may be talking about trading up, but
yeah, and they're probably like you, hoping that somebody plants something. So you're doing something.
So you like this? You like the strategy?
I love the strategy, but
Okay,
there's no chance it's going to happen.
I hope it does.
They
That's
have
what
to-
we need to have.
They will have to. I actually gave you a scenario where they trade up to get Brock Bowers.
So how do you trade? You don't
That's-
have trade assets though. you don't have pick assets. You're going to give next year's draft pick. You're going to give a second round draft pick for next year and move up, 7 or 8 spots. Gracias.
Well, you're going to you have extra picks next year, so that will be part of the trade. Or besides the third rounder that you have, you're going to end up using some other stuff. In other words, and you're probably going to have to use
next
year's picks.
Yeah. No.
In order to do it.
So can we do this? And I hate to keep bringing this up too, but this is sort of remnants of the owner's faux pas, right? Losing draft picks because of.
Oh yeah.
This is a triple.
Well, we lost the first rounder last year. This is the third rounder this year.
Right. Trickle down effect. Right. This is a trickle down effect of when you lose draft picks, it kind of haunts you for 2 or 3 years. Right. I mean, maybe more.
Right.
Maybe more.
And so what we do is you trade from 21 to 16 is what you do.
Who's at 16?
Seahawks.
Hmm.
Huh?
Oh, they're early. They're like in the single digits. 5 or
10.
6. Oh, 10.
10.
Oh.
You think he goes there? I can see him going there. I can see him going there. Vegas also needs a tight end.
Yeah.
No,
Vegas isn't. What's their pick?
13.
Oh, 13. No, they got a shot. So, but here's the problem: the Jets need a quarterback. No, he's not. He's not. He's gonna play. He's gonna play 8 games in the next 30 games. I'm telling you. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Colts need a wide receiver. They also need a tight end. But at 15, they end up trading their pick out for Brandon Ayuk. And then the Niners don't need a tight end.
No.
So they take Fontanu from Washington. And then Miami moves up to the 16 spot with Seattle. And they trade. And they take Brock Bowers.
And they lose next year's.
They lose
second
their
round.
third, and then they lose their probably second rounder next year.
Yeah, next year. Okay, so that's the deal. Why don't you put the call into the office and let them know?
That's the one prediction because they're all talking about Ayuk to Pittsburgh, but nobody's talking about Ayuk to Indianapolis because they have a young quarterback.
Yeah,
and so it's really important for them to give him a pair of receivers. They've already got one guy; they need another guy. So I'm thinking, and Ayuk is a veteran. So that'll help Richardson make a transition, hopefully as quick as he can.
What about? Yeah, but
Meyer. Meyer.
Yeah. But here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Brock Bowers, bro.
Here's the problem with Raiders.
That's
Aiden O'Donnell ain't the answer.
Huh?
The quarterback in Las Vegas
No,
isn't the answer. So they got to get. They probably picking one of the later quarterbacks. The non-top 3 quarterbacks.
I don't know if you want to reach for that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't.
You got to reach now.
Nah, I would not. I would not.
I would not.
If unless you're convinced he can be the guy, I would not reach for a quarterback at all.
I think
you better be convinced.
Yeah, but this is a new coach, right? He's got to build a team. He's got to get it. You're going to build it around. Is it Aiden O'Donnell or O'Connell? Is it O'Connell?
Aiden O'Donnell.
O'Donnell, right? O'Donnell. I mean, I can't see that being the build. I just can't.
No, I know it's not. I'm not saying it is,
especially for a defensive-minded coach.
Right, but he's young, so it's not like they're forcing him to win a bunch of games, and they know that they don't have a quarterback. So what are you going to do? That's a cheap organization too. So it's not like they go out.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they take the 5th quarterback taken.
Yeah,
they're trying to get a bargain, right? I don't know. That's what I think with the Raiders. I mean, I argued with my Raider friends. They think it's going to happen for sure. I said, I don't know,
because they're desperate for a quarterback.
Right, they're desperate.
That's where, you've got the number 8 pick and you reach for Ryan Tannehill, and it's like, yo, dude, he's got a second round grade.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, live that already. You know?
I know the guy that Jeff Ireland hired to scout Ryan Tannehill that year. I know him.
What was the thought process? He was a receiver most of his career.
He turned in his report to Jeff Ireland and told him second round grade.
Really?
And he still took him at number 8.
Wow.
I've told that story here on the because
wow.
Something I never revealed why I knew Ryan Tannehill wasn't the guy because I kind of knew all the people behind the scenes.
You know what though?
And I never talked about this story. I waited years later because he's retired now, so I don't give a shit. So and he goes, hey man, he goes to me, guess who hired me today? And I go, who? He goes, Jeff Ireland hired me. I go, you serious? He goes, yeah, I gotta scout this kid Ryan Tannehill for him.
He was A&M?
Yeah, A&M.
Yeah.
So
A&M.
I knew everything behind the scenes of Ryan Tannehill. And I called him Ryan Tannehill and, no pocket presence and all that kind of shit. Because my guys would fill me in on everything going on. And so and I was telling her, he's not the guy, he's this and that. And so, it's just one of those things. And I'm not big on reaching for people, especially a quarterback. If you're not convinced, don't take him because you're just wasting your time.
Well,
and you're setting your franchise back, by the way, because
years. It's 3 to 5 years. It's 3 to 5 years.
I'm sorry,
For
it's
fan base, for the
demoralizing
team, everybody,
for the players, for everything, because you have no hope. Look at you, Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, I mean,
you have no hope.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's kind of like and that's how I was with Ryan Tannehill. I have no hope. I've never had, but somehow or another, you build yourself up because you're trying to justify the pick, and that's where, I learned my lesson. Was it 20 years ago with that? Almost whatever it was, 15, 18 years ago, or maybe 20. Has it been 20 already since Ryan got drafted? But pretty close.
I don't know if it's 20 yet, but I can tell you something.
Pretty close.
But think about this. Think about this for a moment. It's kind of like going a little different direction, but Ryan Tannehill, you just explained it very eloquently. Here's a guy that made well over $100 million in the NFL. This guy's a second round, sort of.
Kirk Cousins doesn't win ever in the playoffs.
Well,
and he makes a ton of money.
He makes way more money than Tannehill,
and guaranteed, and he's still making money.
He's making
and
way more.
Never wins in the playoffs.
Wait. But we're going to get to that one. But the Tannehill thing is, I think it's even amazing that he was a B- quarterback.
Yes,
making well over $100 million. I don't know what. Now back to your boy here,
stealing money without a gun and a mask.
So now he always picks on Kirk Cousins. I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan, but for some reason, I think he's going to do fairly well. I got to give it a direction. You give you the definition of good, fairly well in Atlanta this year.
Will he win a playoff game?
Yes, one. Only one.
God.
One game. He wins the division and he wins the first playoff game, and that's it. And he falls apart in the second game.
So you really do have crack on you.
No, this is another wager. It's another wager.
Yeah. Are you like the Dolphin offensive line coach?
Yeah. Oh, that was that was a couple years ago. Yeah. I think he's going to do okay. I don't know why. I think they're building. I think Arthur Blank wants to build anything he can around that and just try to get. It's Blank that's involved with this, I think, and I think he's getting old, and he says, "Hey, this is my little. Let me give it a real shot."
They got some weapons and stuff. I just buy Kirk Cousins. I've never bought Kirk Cousins. He's a solid quarterback, but he just doesn't win in the postseason.
He's not going to win He's not going to win the championship. He's not going to get into the Super Bowl. He's not going to do any of that. But he's going to win the division. The division's kind of weak. It's a weak division.
Yeah.
So
Tampa's. They brought back Baker.
Baker, come on. He
had a good year, bro.
I know, but he
had a good year.
He can easily have a less than better year than he had last. Easily,
He played well, man.
But it's not a guarantee that Tampa's going to be there.
He shut me up, dude.
Although,
I'm going to give him.
Well, I think the receiver certainly Evans is certainly a big help there.
He made plays, dude. No, and let me tell you something. I watched a lot of those games. There were times when Mike Evans dropped some balls too. That would have been. I'm telling you, I watched.
So we got two wagers going on. One's a long termer. One is the draft, and Bowers. They take Bowers. I'll even
trading
say,
up maybe.
Okay,
Trading up
that's
if
a push. That's a push if it's a trade up.
Dude, if he's I don't think he makes 16 for the trade up. But if the Brandon Ayuk situation happens, it could open the door for Miami to get
then
to
that's
trade
a
up.
push. Then
No, it's not a push because
that's a
it's not.
push.
No, it's not 21.
It's our first pick.
No, you
It's our
said
first pick.
No. You said 21.
I
You
did
said
say
21.
but
He
I'm
lasted
agreeing.
21.
I'm agreeing with you. The trade up might need to occur.
If he lasted 21, okay, I'm taking you and the wife to a steak dinner somewhere.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
If he goes,
we're gonna go with the wives out, and it's on me.
Sizzler.
Doesn't even count anymore. That place doesn't even exist anymore, right? Sizzler.
There's probably some places that forgot to close down. But,
I don't think it's Sizzler. No, I'm serious. I'm gonna take you to a really good steakhouse somewhere, Forge. or something.
Baby, I can get the 12-ounce
Been to the
fillet.
Forge?
The 12. I like it. I haven't
been to the
been.
Forge?
I've heard of it.
You never been to the Forge?
No.
Oh, now, okay.
All right.
So if Browers lasts to 21, I'm taking you and the wife to the Forge.
It's a no-win situation. It's all-win situation for me.
Yes, because you get Bowers and the steak.
Yeah.
You get steak and steak.
You'll be happy too, though.
Oh, I'll happily pay for that meal if Brock Bowers is a Miami Dolphin, bro. If Brock Bowers is a Miami Dolphin, I will buy the jersey that night.
I'm in
the draft.
I'll tell you what. If that occurs,
I guarantee you, I will buy that.
You
jersey.
buy the steak, I'll buy the jersey for you. Your size and my size, we'll be walking proudly.
I'm telling you.
And Sean, 3 jerseys. I'm going 3 jerseys right now.
But it has to be
21.
But it has to be like my Tua jersey. It has to be a throwback. It has to have the old Dolphin logo.
All right.
So I don't wear new logo.
Not the Gasecki logo.
I don't wear new logo. I don't wear new logo. That's banned. That's banned in my house.
Anyhow, so
I ordered a Dolphin umbrella from Amazon a few years back. Had the old logo on it. And I'm pumped. Wow, dude, they had the Dolphin umbrella with the old logo.
Nice.
Awesome,
throwback.
Because I have in the back of my car, I have a couple of umbrellas. A Canes umbrella, a Panther umbrella, a Heat umbrella, and a Dolphin umbrella. Literally, I have 4 umbrellas lying in the back, and I switch them out depending on where I'm at. I'll use them, depending on what sport and all that. So I'll leave them lying in the back in the back of the where the speakers are, right there, lying there. So I order it, I get it, and it's the new fucking logo.
Nah. Bait and switch. Bait and switch. You got to return that.
And I got on Amazon right away, and I sent them this pissed off email. Look at the picture that I bought. I bought the old logo. You guys send me the new one. I can't stand the new one. I don't want this. I will send it back, this, that. They said, forget about it. Keep it. We're sending you the old logo too.
Hats off. There you go.
And
a South Florida guy took care of you.
By the next
Bezos
day,
took care of you.
By the next day, I gave that umbrella away to somebody else.
He threw it away.
I didn't want that shit in my house.
What was your feeling? There was a period.
That's how much I hate that logo.
There was a period when the Dolphins went like blue. You know that blue they went with?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they still kept the logo. They altered it a little bit.
I got a sweater. It's blue. I'm like,
It
doesn't even look like a Dolphin shirt.
But the Dolphin logo was still the same logo.
I know,
and I know they cartooned this sometimes, or they made it mean, or whatever. They tweaked it a little bit, but at least they stayed with the original.
So you're okay with the blue? I wasn't okay with the blue. I think that it's teal. It's teal.
I get it. I was okay with the orange.
Oh yeah, orange and teal is fine, but blue.
No, I get it. The black jersey too, or whatever. But
that's it. That was
all marketing crap.
Yeah, that's bull.
That's money grab. That's what they do. All these teams do it, bro.
Yeah,
they all do this stuff where they're now changed. They get like I saw the other day, like some dude like wearing Yankees, and it was like a completely odd color, and I'm like, yo, bro, it just doesn't.
Yeah, tan. You see the light tan or something like that. Give me a break. That's on the Yankees.
It's the Yankees. You don't need to change it. Leave it alone.
At any rate,
it's like the Green Bay Packers, bro. I don't want the Green Bay Packers in purple. Give me the green and the yellow. Leave it alone. The logo's fine. Like I don't understand these teams. Like they're dying to change their logos, and You know, but it's more. Yeah, I know it's a money grab, but
Yeah.
I respect so much that the Giants and the Steelers and the
hardcore,
Packers,
basic stuff.
and they are who they are.
Good organizations, both of them.
Right, but they don't change the logo. There's just no need to, bro.
Yeah,
None.
Yeah.
I mean, the Steelers they're not even rich enough to be able to afford the other side of the helmet, and they keep it that way.
Well, don't say that the Rooney family's got a couple bucks. I think they can afford.
I'm joking.
I think they can afford that decal.
I know, but they haven't even.
It's principle they're going with,
and they never changed it, and they stay with it. And I
maybe
that.
years ago they couldn't afford the decal. They got a couple shackles, I think.
Well, they can afford it, but like they still don't do it.
You know, they sold a casino in New York for like $1 billion a couple years ago.
Yeah.
They used to have what was it? Yonkers. You know, it was very
that was
big.
The Rooney's?
Yeah, so
it
was the horse track, and then they owned it, and it was, it was one of only 2 or 3 casinos in New York City region. They were just killing it. I went there a couple of times. I would park how about a half a mile from here is Publix across the street, maybe a little less than half a mile. It was further than Publix, and I was parking like way further. And it was raining. I remember the one time I was like, this is insane. I'm walking by thousands of cars, and they had like 8,000 or 7,000 slot machines or something ridiculous. And they sold it to MGM.
Wow.
Who has a couple bucks also,
Right.
and so at any rate,
Every combine and Senior Bowl, I would, I'm not going to say which one, but I would hang out with a specific Rooney and go smoke cigars.
super nice people. I've
Great
golfed with them.
people.
They're
Great
nice, really,
people.
really nice, great organization.
Yeah.
Met a couple of people there a few years back, and couldn't be nicer.
We still go back and forth on.
Couldn't be
text.
nicer. Couldn't be nicer. Pretty good golfers and really, really good people and good supportive of the community too. But that being said,
what do you got going on?
Listen, I just want to tell you, I have to run quickly, but we have the basics that we always have, and we're still coming to you. We need to know another car. Or here's
no, we got it now. You got to get the RZX, bro, at Acura. I sent you.
But now there's
call
a
Larry
debate.
now.
There's a debate now.
Why?
Between a car and a boat, and I want to know if there's
wait more for the summer.
That's what we're planning.
When is this one? June
or July? We're thinking car or boat. Not to say we wouldn't do the Acura. I'm not saying that.
Do the car hooked up to the boat.
Well, because it's a little pricey.
That's a little pricey.
I don't have that. I don't have that kind of money. It's a great idea, though. Would you do car or boat? And if anybody chimes in, it would be, even if there's 5 people chiming, it would be great just to know car or boat. But because I'm
all right. What do you guys think? Car or boat?
You give it away. A nice, comparable car.
Acura or boat?
Comparable price boat.
Remember who's a sponsor of the program?
Yeah, but you got Acura guys. All the salesmen at Acura are calling up right now.
You made up a new one,
a broat.
Pat in Asheville wants a broat.
No, that's
they do
Sean.
make them now.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I did.
No, they've been making it for years. Where it goes right, a car goes into the water.
There's a new one now. There's actually a new one they just built now that actually does the water and the land. So Pat in Asheville is onto something there. You might want to give away. I mean, I'm
not giving a boat. Got a boat. I'm not giving a broad away at Hialeah Park.
It's like a 007 thing.
Pat said, "Remember, the water levels are going to rise in Miami."
So now it's a safety thing. It's a safety issue. You
can be your own 007.
Yeah.
You lower the windows. You just throw the fish out, and you just keep going in the Lotus.
Okay, so far now there's actually
a broat.
Some rational reasons. Anyhow, I think I better exit out of here because I think I'm just going to have an appetite next week for that big steak.
I hope so.
And look, you get a nice New Jersey. All of us get a nice New Jersey. If we can start the fan club.
Bowers is from New Jersey?
No, a Jersey.
Oh, a Jersey. Okay. It's him.
I didn't
what
say
else
that.
Did I?
Wait.
What I'm programmed.
Pigo.
I'm programmed.
you- I
Everything
don't-
comes from
I don't-
Jersey.
I don't want your listeners thinking that I said it for hours is from Jersey.
You programmed me already. You programmed all of us already.
He probably has some roots, though. He probably has
There
some
we
roots.
go.
that-
See,
so-
somehow or
some,
another,
you know,
it's all
maybe
back.
some relatives that live there, and he visited them and was inspired
That
in
makes
some way.
sense.
Yeah, that would probably make
Makes
sense.
sense.
But all right, Big O. Now that we
And remember the $100 no regret first bet, like we told you earlier on the show. Don't use the same email or number that you use with Hard Rock, but you go through the Hialeah Park and you can then make your bets and you'll get your no regret 100 first bet. So take advantage, baby.
thanks, guys.
Appreciate you as all. No, I got a little bit of a cold, so I don't want to shake.
Sounds good.
All right. I appreciate
Sounds good,
you.
guys. Well, medium well on that fillet.
You can order whatever you want. Whatever appetizer you want. You want to get a nice giant jumbo shrimp cocktail because that's what I'm going to get. Big ones, dude. Love it over there. You really have never been to the Forge. It's huh? Is what?
Where's that located?
That's in Miami Beach, like off of 41st, right in between Collins and right after.
There's an issue. I'll wait for.
What, it closed?
Yeah.
Oh, it closed. Oh, I know that there was something going on. Forgot about that. Oh, that's all right. No, that's all right. That's all right. I'll find another badass place. Wow. So I can't. So they closed already. What a shame. It was a classic place, dude. Classic place. So, permanently closed. All right. So we're gonna have to pick somewhere else. And you live up north, right? So okay, so you know what? Maybe I'll pick something in that area where we can meet. Oh yeah. Oh no, Broward and South Palm Beach, bro, is restaurant heaven. So you been to New York Prime yet? Yes. Did you yes, did you have the garlic shrimp there?
No, but I love that's a great steakhouse.
Oh my
You go
God.
in, the butcher's right
New
there.
York Prime? Oh my God,
the
that place
Yankee
is
logo
right
in the
off of-
bone.
Is it Palmetto Park Road in 995 or
I
something?
thought it was Sample.
Sample? Maybe.
Wait.
It's way up there.
Yeah, I think it's Sample. They're near Sample.
Yeah.
Sample and State Road 7.
Because, Prime, New York Prime.
New York Prime. It's the only other one exists in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, and let me tell you, or I could take you to Seminole Coconut Creek, and we could go to the New York Yankee Steakhouse.
Oh, that's New York Prime.
Yeah, well, it's inside the Seminole Coconut Creek.
Yeah. I can
We
go.
could-
I
we
can
could,
go. I can go across.
I got my knife there.
I can go across enemy lines.
I have my knife there.
Yeah.
I have my knife there. So
Delicious.
I gotta. It's in Boca. Yes, it's in Boca.
I'm getting the Coconut Creek one
dude,
next
it's
up.
right, it's right in front of. It's across from Prime Cigar. I love going to New York Prime and then go to Prime Cigar and relax and have a cigar. It's freaking amazing. That place is awesome.
When?
So I'll either take you to New York Prime or we'll go to the Yankee steak in Seminole Coconut
And
Creek.
3 jerseys for all.
Okay.
All righty. Take care, guys.
You got it, baby. New jerseys. New jerseys. They will be new. Exactly. There you go. The great Steve Calibro, baby. Getting it done. We love it here. Tomahawk steak. Yeah, buddy. Is that like a steakhouse called Tomahawk Steak, or is that it's a steak called Tomahawk? Oh, okay. That's what's called. That's called Tomahawk. Okay. All right. How can you draft Tannehill at 8 with the second round grade? Oh, yeah. This is the same GM that traded up to number 3 for Deion Jordan. Yeah. But Lenny, you have no idea. Like, I knew this information, and I didn't reveal this information till 15 years later. You know? Like, I knew this the entire time. And people were like, oh, you hate Tannehill. No, I don't hate Tannehill, dude. He's a great kid. I root for him and everything. But I know what he is. He's So I'm not going to make him out what he isn't, you know? And it was just one of those things. Can you imagine you hire a scout outside of your organization so you can get an outside opinion, not anybody in the organization, because you're afraid the people in the organization may not be fully honest with you, or you may not trust their opinion, or whatever it is. Clearly, there was something that which, by the way, I find that to be very smart as a GM to say, all right, let me go scout him on the outside, and then we're scouting him inside, and then we'll compare. So apparently my friend, who I knew for still know for years, for well over 25 years, he worked for several organizations. He was an excellent scout. And I used to he was one of my go-to guys for info all the time. So when Ireland hires him, I'm like, I'm like on cloud 9 here, because I'm like, okay, I got insight on their draft, on what they're trying to do, who they're going, but I can't talk about it. I can't predict that they like Tannehill. I can't do any of that. I could have looked like an effing genius if I wanted to that day and said, they're very interested in this kid, Ryan Tannehill. And then I would have looked like a genius. Wow, dude, you nailed the Tannehill pick. But people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You understand? And so it's amazing to see that, like, you hire somebody and they give you the real grade, and you not only take them in the first round, you take them at number 8 overall. And to me, that's just, I will never reach for a quarterback. You if you're drafting one, have conviction, like serious conviction that you build. Not, oh, well, maybe if he does this or if that. No. You can't do that with a quarterback, because more often than not, they're going to fail. Because quarterbacks fail like crazy, dude. Such a difficult position. So, anyway, traded Vontae in the prime of his career. Vontae was headed for bad shit here. He did not have his head in the game here. That's the problem. It wasn't a great locker room. It wasn't great leadership, and he needed a lot of it. The trade for Vontae was really good. It gave him a wake-up call, because he was doing the same shit he was doing in Illinois, and he was getting away with everything and not doing the right things, and he would just flash, and he was better than that. And he did that in Indy. He played his best football in Indy, actually, and that's because he got traded. It's, Chris Carter. You're effing it up in the Eagles, and Buddy Ryan says, get out of here. And it was his wake-up call, and he straightened it out, and he got rid of the alcohol, and he made himself into a Hall of Famer. The Vontae situation was tough. It was a tough one. That's another one that I got killed for, because I said he was immature. I got annihilated for that. But I'm used to it. So it's all good. What else? I can't see the Jets not taking Brock Bowers if he's available. I mean, it makes sense. He's so good, dude. That's just not a guy that you don't pass up people like that. That's a generational player at that position, Brock Bowers. I am a huge Brock Bowers guy, but it's only by luck if he lasts the 16, and then that's when Miami can trade up and get in there. That's about it. Outside of that, I hope Steve's right. I think Steve is completely out of his mind. There's no way he lasts the 21. No way. But I would love it. Yes, sir.
And if he does, some GMs need to lose their jobs.
Yes. Yeah.
Not saying all of them, but some of them need to lose their jobs.
Yeah, because you didn't draft a better player. There aren't 20 players better than Brock Bowers in the draft. So if you took 20 players before Brock Bowers, you are correct, sir. Several people screwed up. It's a great point. Great point. Don't go to prime 112 in Miami. I think that place is overrated personally. I went to it years ago. I don't think it's that good, to be quite honest. It's solid, but to go through the hassle that you got to go to that place, I don't believe it's worth it. But hey, it's got the reputation, so the people flock to it. It is what it is. What are you going to do? You know. By the way, Silver Sun Pickups announced today. Pat in Nashville gave me the heads up. June 15th at the Culture Room, and the second that Pat in Nashville sent me that, all I can think of is my best friend Bill Preston, because that's one of those bands that he loves. Silver Sun Pickups. Phoenix was another one. These are he turned me on to Phoenix. He turned me on to Silver Sun Pickups. Years ago on Lincoln Park. He first heard it. He goes, dude, you got to hear this and all that. So when I do go see the Silver Sun Pickups at the Culture Room, obviously I'll be there with you, my brother. And R.I.P. to Dickie Betts. Rest in peace, Alan, the Allman Brothers. Losing a great guitarist, Dickie Betts, man, a legend, freaking legend. It closed down like 2 years ago. Wow, that's bad. It was before that, the Forge? Oh, so they renovated in COVID, and then yeah, I haven't been there in years. I love that place. It's a good place, man. That's all right. New York Prime is awesome in Boca. Any of you get a chance to go to New York Prime? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What a great restaurant that is. Love that restaurant. Great service, great food. Those garlic shrimp. Oh, the best garlic shrimp I have ever tasted in my life. Seriously. The steaks are phenomenal. So I don't mind taking my man Steve to New York Prime. That place is awesome. So, and I know it's open. That one I know it's open because I've been to it. I was there like a year ago. I went with the wife. I like to go to New York Prime at least once a year. Another place I could go, good food, excellent service, and great ambiance would be Runway 84. You ever been there? Once. And I don't, Steve being a Jersey guy, right? Anybody that's been to Runway 84, Jersey guys, my God, that's like, bada bing. You're like, oh, wow, this place is the shit. Because the ambiance in Runway 84 does not exist anywhere else. Nowhere. The only place that has that kind of ambiance that I felt was Cafe Moderano. And Cafe Moderano does some of that. So, let's see. Gesicki was a great tight end as well, but we have a hard-headed coach that doesn't use the tight ends as receivers. He has this stupid thing about blocking, man. You're correct. Big O, I recall Kyle Pitts, who was described as a generational tight end, picked fourth overall. He hasn't shown his potential yet. Not saying that Bowers won't, just as a comparison. I don't think it's all been about Kyle Pitts, bro. I think he's been in a terrible environment, and I think it's affected him. I think if he was in the right place, it's, Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson before Mike McDaniel and Barry, or Austin Jackson after it. The environment was not there for Austin Jackson to thrive as a player. The environment is now here for Austin Jackson to thrive as a player. I think part of what's gone on with Kyle Pitts has been his environment. That's just me. I think if he was in San Francisco, he would have been just fine. Pittsburgh, I think if he went to the Baltimore Ravens, I think if he went somewhere where they know how to use it and get it involved and all that, Atlanta's just not there yet, you know? So they've been a disaster for several years. I don't know, man. I feel bad for that kid because I think you could have gotten a lot more out of him. That's just me. Runway 84 is the mecca for the all New York, Jersey people who want that old school Italian vibe. Yep. So I might, maybe, I got to ask Steve if he's ever been there. He's been here in town for a while. If he hasn't been to Runway 84, I think I might have to take him there. You know, because it's just one of those places that, and by the way, for any of you out there that don't live here, or if you live here, if you've never been to Runway 84, that is terrific food, excellent service, and an experience, an ambiance that does not exist anywhere in South Florida and very few places in the country. It's just a different kind of vibe. And when you walk out of there, you're going to go, wow, what a great experience that was. I look forward to doing it again. I love Runway 84. So, yeah. Brett says, I still absolutely love Bowers, though. Well, who doesn't, man? Who doesn't? We thank Steve Calibro, the Brunetti family, as always, making it nice and easy for us. Everybody here at Hialeah Park. As always, every Thursday, we're out here at 3 o'clock here in the second floor poker room. Appreciate all of you out there. Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, that masters his entire platform. We thank Matt Veram, our guest. Tomorrow, we will have David Furonis. He'll join us around 10:30. Manny Navarro will join us at 11. Next week, we go draft heavy. So we'll have a ton of guests, and we'll have a lot of draft talk for you next week. We'll see you tomorrow. 10 a.m. We're in studio tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big